you and I, we can attest, they are not that expensive. Unlike going for broccoli, a cabbage, you can name them.
Yeah, those foreign.
Those are the ones.
So why do we have the mindset that those foreign vegetables have more of the nutrients than the locally raised, cultivated ones? Yeah. Okay, trend. Yeah. Trend. Exactly.
You know, we have shifted from our local spice leaves, bitter leaf, the green vegetables, that's the pumpkin leaves. Yeah. We have shifted to a point that we have forgotten them. But at this point, we are here to say that we can still start here. Going back is the word, because they are as healthy as whatever are being sold out there on the very high side.
I agree with you. I think we'll never exhaust this. We might interchange, but let's talk about fitness. Let's bring in the fitness part of this topic.
Recently, you can see the craze or the madness about people looking fit. For me, I would want to start by saying one's height and one's weight should be able to tally.
Okay.
I can't be my height and then I'm crazily striving for the body that should be for somebody that is shorter, or maybe the bones and all of that is not my own frame or my... So the important thing is that when we are talking about fitness, we should have this at the back of our mind. We are not talking about perfection, but we are talking about the body that is housing the mind, being in a shape that we can wake up in the morning, you can get out of bed, you can walk around, and then you can also come back to rest. Did you get something there?
I think you'll take that again.
All right.
So I could actually jot it.
Okay. We are looking at a body that can respond when the individual is awake. And you try to pull yourself together and you are able to step out of the bed, walk around, and then go to work. Remember, work, and then you go to work. At the end of the day, you are able to get back home and then have a reset. Recover and then start the new day. It's not about that perfection. So when I see people talking about shape and what we see on the pages of the papers or what is trendy on social media, some leads our young persons to health conditions that they will need to spend the rest of their lives to treat. So fitness is more of ensuring that what we eat is healthy, nourishes the body, and is able to take us around. That's fitness from my perspective. It's not the craze about the rigorous gymming, exercises, running from one end of the state to the other end. And remember, this thing is about our ages too. Age is important apart from the height and the weight. And then, what are we really looking out for? And come to think of, we Africans, we have our own unique ways of presenting ourselves and our lives. But in as much as we are talking about health and then fitness, I think the definition is the same everywhere. But the important thing is the overall ability of the body, when we are looking at the bones and other structures, being flexible enough, ability to stand the stress of the day, ability to be able to stand other stressors, physical activities, and that puts us in a position that we can say, I am fit.
Okay, so, but there's this perception that you need to work out to have the strength or stamina to carry out those physical activities and daily activities. And then for some organs of the body, like the heart, the bones, you need to
I love that. I love that. Now, looking at fitness from daily activities, you know, there are some persons that on a daily basis, they have regular activities that puts them exercising. And for other persons, they are they work in offices, which entails that from time to time, they need to see how they can break, walk around, and then get back. then on a daily basis, we should be able to ensure that the body was not meant to lie down or to sit permanently, but it has to walk. Now coming back to gymming and exercising, daily walking does not mean I'm going for a marathon, I'm going for any competition. But for me, it's about daily exercises like taking a stroll, maybe jogging on once or twice in a week, because everything we are talking about is helping the heart to beat well, and then the blood circulation in order to take the blood around, and then one's health is not being compromised. Remember, too much of everything can turn out being a problem. Exactly. So I think it's better for us to look at fitness as based on individual goals. What do you want out of fitness? And that's where, for me, I'll say, for my weight, I wouldn't want to be just a 70 kg person, because I know probably my bones alone, my bones alone can be something close to that. You understand? So instead of competing with somebody that is maybe 4 feet or less than myself, because I know you may be trying to wonder what's my height. I leave you to guess that. But be it as it may, the height...
You must be at 6 feet.
Well, I'll leave you to keep guessing. But the important thing is that it's good to keep fit, but it's not about killing oneself because you want to have, how do we put it, a superwoman or superman body. But it's about us being able to trim the excesses, and then we stay healthy and we stay fit.
No, so you just mentioned or talked about a very vital point, which I know a lot of people do not consider. That's the body weight, the height.
Against the height.
And the age.
The age, very important.
Yeah, what else could come to play as a factor?
And what you do for a living.
Okay.
Remember, if you are a sedentary worker, you need to see how to increase your physical activities. Unlike somebody that is maybe a manual worker who his or her work entails a lot of carrying, lifting, dropping, walking, and running around. So those things matters.
So for these other parts, someone who is
sitting all the time,
a sedentary worker, that person would need more of exercises than the other.
And now when we are talking about more exercises, I think using the staircase instead of elevator is a very on-point form of increasing one's physical activity. Maybe parking your vehicle further away from where you are going to can also give you opportunity to see how many steps can you take in between. Remember, I keep saying it's not about perfection, but it's about consistency. Consistently walking, taking the stroll, using the staircase, and then maybe for people that can have weekends to invest. Remember, these are all investments for the future, and our body will really thank us for every session we break to increase our activities, to ensure that the heart is able to pump more blood, and then the bones are able to get the flexibility that they're supposed to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I like the fact that you've already led me on by mentioning those kind of activities or exercises one could engage in. So that's like walk,
You can take a walk.
So let's have more. I think someone watching them might want to know.
There are some persons that
I have
swimming.
done this walk, it's not working. I tried to get engaged. So what other thing can the person engage in?
Amazingly, I love swimming. Because swimming gives you a full body physical activity.
Okay.
So for those that maybe they have phobia to water, they can look at maybe like walking, strolling. It's not really about running. Brisk walking, that's increasing
your pace.
The pace can go a long way. And then the goal should be being able to sweat at the end of the day. Remember, a lot of people work in an environment that is so conditioned that they hardly perspire. And remember also, the sun is needful. as long as we are all human beings, we should be able to expose ourselves to the sunlight because it goes a long way to nourish us with vitamin D and other things that vitamin D and the sun rays can do to the system. So it is needful for us to take a walk, maybe go visit a friend, and then you see how you walk. You can decide to maybe hang out, what do we call it, maybe friends together. We decide to have sessions that we can gym exercise together. Okay. Stretches, you understand, even at home. Remember, with the things we have at home, we can stretch. We can, how do we call it? Stretches, jack. Okay. You understand? All of those stretches and then jumping. Remember also that it has to be, you respect your age in the course of doing these things. Like the last time I was talking to... It has to be
age appropriate, weight appropriate. So how do we really... So for instance, I'll use myself for an example. How do I know the appropriate exercise for me?
Well, at this point, I'll tell... There are times that we talk about professionals in every aspect of life. Yes, I know that we visit social media, that's the internet, for a lot of things. But looking at, for me and you, you know that for your age and what you do, you need to talk about flexibility, you need to talk about resilience, stamina. In these cases, it means you should be able to do much of walking, brisk walking. You should be able to do, for skipping, I look at people's ages and I'll say, like once we were talking with a medical doctor, say, see the bones, the joints, there's an age we get to. We don't need to skip any longer.
Absolutely.
You understand? Yeah. Because the bones are now so brittle and they can break easily. So looking at the age, yes, you can take on skipping, but let it be the number of times or the speed or whatever you are looking at should be appropriate with your age. Yeah. And then don't go excessively prolonged. At least it should be something that is consistent. It's not about competition or comparison, but it's what your heart can handle and what sits well for you. At least if we look at 3 times in a week, I think that can help in all of this that we are talking about.
And what I want to achieve too, because for some people, the exercises, the fitness is targeted at a particular achievement. Maybe they want to get their tummy flat, maybe they want to tone up their muscles.
That's for us women.
So firm up their muscles.
True.
And all of that. Yeah. So does the age thing still apply here? Yeah. And the bone...
Yes, the age thing applies to everyone, and the composition, the way individual fat deposit is. Okay. Like now, talking about the abdominal fat, it's not necessarily about how much exercises we do. Remember, it still boils back to what we eat, how we eat, when we eat, and the quantity we eat. So in all, we will still get back to talk about completeness, that we should be mindful of how we eat, what we eat, the quantity, which translates to the little physical or the much physical activities we engage in. That will go a long way to put the body in shape or fit as we want.
Okay, so in general, when you're talking about fitness, what's your take? What's your advice when it has to do with fitness?
Yeah, when it has when it has to do with fitness, I encourage myself and everyone that we need to see how we stand up, we engage in physical activities based on what we do on daily basis, our age, and then at the end of the day, being able to remain flexible, being able to remain within the normal weight for our age is very important. And our future body will always thank us when we are able to manage it. Not too much and not too little. That's what I can say about that.
Okay, that's well said. I'll agree with you. I'm sure I can't dispute that. And I want to say that it's been an interesting discussion so far, but I want us to go on a short break, and when we return, the discussion continues. So just stay there.
Every second, a story breaks.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the National Assembly.
The nation reacts. The world shifts. History moves in real time. Before the noise, before the opinions. One screen keeps you connected. From the headlines shaking the nation to the stories everyone talks about tomorrow. Stream anytime, anywhere. When the story matters, you know where to turn. ADBN. A part of you.
Thank you so very much for being there. And if you're just tuning in, the program is Soft Line on ADBN TV. So we're talking about healthy in every way, how you can be healthy in every way. Fitness, your food, and your mental peace of mind, your mental health, you can say. So I like those tips that we rolled out, but Director, can we have our tweets to add to those tips? All right, this is from Aura. He says, fresh food and balanced meals with no processed food, no alcohol, no cigarettes, a good sleep schedule, a moving body, daylight, nature walks, journaling, self-awareness, meditation, reading books, friendships. It all goes together. I agree.
It's true.
And the next one says, Director, can you zoom that? Wellness isn't about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about, let's take the next one. This is too tiny for me to read. Yeah, so Algerfrun says, practicing balanced diet enhances well-being. Studies show it improves mental clarity by 35%. It reduces stress in daily routines. These habits foster a healthier lifestyle. Experts suggest starting small for impact. I think I agree. And wellness is about creating small moments during your day where your body gets the message that it's okay to relax. Wow. Yes, I think our guests have done justice to that, and I'm sure you have nothing to dispute about those tweets. They're absolutely in line with what you are advocating.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to agree. So, and quickly, I think let's wrap this up, with the peace of mind, the mental health, which is the crux in all of this. Yeah. When we talk about staying healthy, you've talked deeply and extensively about food, and you've talked about fitness. Yeah. So now the peace of mind.
The peace of mind, which is non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable, absolutely.
So once we are looking at the mind, I think this is the aspect that people really give much thought about. A lot of times we are so careless about our peace of mind. And that's where I think we should really see how we can push a little further around peace of mind.
Okay.
What do you think healthy meal presented to one that is so stressed out or stressed up will mean? There's no appetite at this point. Even seeing the sumptuous meal, as far as something is stressing one, and the peace of mind has been eroded, I think there's nothing you'd want to take out of that very attractively served meal. So also is looking at a beautiful body. A beautiful body that the mind is out of shape. I guess you know what that means. Beautiful body, but the mind is not. Exhaustion, maybe things out there. So let's come back to the mind. You know, at times people will try to locate the mind here and there, and they'll say in the head, in the brain, in the heart. But when we are talking about mind, I think it's that aspect of life that has to do with tranquility, ability to wake up. You are happy with yourself first. Because I keep telling people you cannot give from what you don't have. So having peace within you is what makes any individual to wake up calm and ready for the day's activity. And where does this come from? I think it comes from that assurance that you are on earth for a purpose. And serving that purpose entails connecting. If you could see from the tweet, one of it was talking about meditation. Whether you are a Christian or whatever faith you belong to, there's need for one to wake up and then connect. Like we power our phones or gadgets, every human being needs to connect, to plug in somewhere and get powered. It lights up one's self and one's day. So peace of mind comes from, how do you wake up every day? How do you reach out to the people around you? And how do you see life generally? There are some people that are so negative about life that you hear them talk about negativity from the time they wake up till when the day ends. That's not a peaceful mind. And the mental health of such people already is highly compromised. But another individual wakes up in the morning, in the midst of all the uncertainty, but you see him or her waking up and starting with some form of music, some like for us Christians, we'll talk about praising, you know, singing a lot of songs that at some point it gets one elated, it gets one inspired to start the day. So these are little things that some persons don't understand. And by the time we start our day, like warming up and then we take off, you see the productivity comes higher than an individual that wakes up from the stress of the previous day, waking up, starting like it was still yesterday. God gave us time to go to sleep, rest, relax, reset, and then we recover. So no matter what happened the previous day, an individual that focuses on his or her peace of mind should know that yesterday is gone. And we are here in today, and tomorrow is a promise. And as such, what do? We connect with our Maker, and then we see how we can write down. Journaling is key. You read, you write, because in the course of reading, there are some ideas that comes to you, and you know how to maneuver life situations. And then by the time you write it down, you help some other person. And then you also help yourself, because I wrote somewhere that he who forgets the past will make a repeat of what had gone in the past. So writing down saves for one to be able to visit for herself or for others too. Then aside journaling, I believe for us to really stay stable, we have to know the circle of people we find ourselves. Blood or no blood, toxicity isn't what anybody should think of living forever under. Yes, stress is good when it helps us to go towards the right thing. But when one is perpetually in a toxic environment, it drains the peace. And at the end of the day, productivity will be affected. So when we are looking at mental health and peace of mind, it's what keeps the human being complete and stable.
Okay.
A good body, good physical appearance, expensive clothing, healthy meals without peace of mind, I think it's equals to nothing.
Okay.
So in all we are saying, complete as we'd want to say we want to be healthy, you have to see how we talk about what makes you unhappy. Being unhappy should not be a residence where somebody lives every day, all the hours of the day. No. Yes, it is right that one can be upset, but being upset and then being able to pull back and then walk past those things that stresses us is what we will look at as being resilient.
Okay.
And recently we talked so much about emotional intelligence. Being able to connect with people and then your boundaries. You know where to stop when it comes to someone else's life or situations around someone else. So these are things that helps us in our own peace of mind.
Yeah, so there are people who say, I have peace of mind, but they actually don't have the peace of mind. Are there measures, are there yardsticks? How would you really know that one has peace of mind? Exactly.
Yeah. Let's look at an individual that complains so much. Does that showcase someone with peace of mind? No. For people that will tell you if they need to tell you, because somebody with peace of mind wouldn't need to tell you. He or she maneuvers life differently. Instead of complaining, he or she seeks out solution for what he or she is supposed to be complaining about and then go past that. And then depression. You see someone that is mood swing, mood in, out. That does not show peace of mind. Yes, you'll ask me, it's normal for one to be unhappy. Yes, being unhappy is different from being depressed and extensively depressed.
Okay.
Being anxious, also anxiety, unnecessary anxiety that will now become chronic and now shift into a serious mental disorder. That's another aspect. You would notice that there are some persons that are constantly anxious. Everything tilts them to anxiety. But there are other persons, we are coming here to the studio right now, and then maybe traffic or something is holding you back from meeting up. There are certain things a stable individual is expected to do. Put a call through, text, reach out. Oh, I'm running late based on this. Ability to know your boundaries in what you think, how you think, which translates to what you say, how you say it, and then how you relate with the people around. I think somebody with peace of mind will not need to tell me, I have peace of mind. Somebody with peace of mind will leave it out. And you that you are experiencing or encountering such an individual, you can attest to, wow, this person is very calm. This person is stable. I think with that, we can agree that peace of mind plays out in how we live, how we talk, and how we relate with others.
Okay, so for someone who wants to achieve peace of mind, like, you're overwhelmed with the issues of life, you're troubled, and you really would want true peace of mind, what would be your advice to such a person?
Talking to your maker is number one. I always visit that, because there are situations that people fail people. You know, you so expected, people will put so much expectation on others and they seem to fail them. And at such point, I always recommend, say, see how you can go inward. Call it whatever you want to call, prayers, meditation, yoga, you understand? Call it whatever name you want to call, but that translates to drawing strength from the supernatural forces around us. And for me, we'll always say from God, because God is the name we call. But you know, for other persons, they have different names for where they plug in to get energized. So going there back to the Maker is an awesome way one can do. And then the other aspect is talking to the right persons. It's not everybody that gives us ear that we need to talk to, because there are some persons that they cannot manage information. So if it's not somebody that you can really trust, they are professionals. We have psychologists, we have social workers, and counselors, a whole lot of persons. And for us nurses, I think some of us had gone to that point that we can do a whole lot of counseling based on what life has really exposed us to. So talking to experts in different areas is very important, and it will help to offset such an emotional imbalance. And then social life. I think it shouldn't only be about church activities. How do we relate in our families? Do we still have family time where children are able to see the parents, siblings seated together? Do we still have such time?
I don't think so.
It's very important that we have to. In our families, we need to visit. How often do you talk to your parents as a child? How often do you talk to your spouse, if you're a woman, if you're a man? How often do we have that opportunity to sit together in order to talk about things? You know, these are the little things from the home level before we can now set out to say, let me talk to friends, good friends. It's good to have good friends, because that's another dimension that can help to calm the mind. And we can go on and on and on. But the most important thing I would want us to look at, going back to, in our culture, we used to have family times where families will sit together, they eat together, they see how they can look at each child's progress. And then remember, there was this opportunity that parents will be able to go to the extent of visiting their children's school, partaking in every milestone that the child made. I think recently, a lot of things has been handed over.
You just took that out from me, that I can't remember. I don't know. Well, there could be a pocket of families still, you know, doing this family time out thing, but majorly. I
want to ask you, have you noticed that there are times that the family outing will end up being individual time on their phones? The family is out seated somewhere that they want to have family time, but the parents, everyone is engaged. So can we say, let's look up and look into our faces so that we can still remember to see that there's something wrong, and then we can handle it. Loneliness is real. Even in the midst of people, a lot of persons are lonely. And that's where we can say, let's see how we can get back to quality time together, family meals once in a while. I think Sundays is not bad for families to see how they can sit around, idle about, and then we disengage from the devices.
Even family getaway, just have time to travel. I know economic situation might not permit.
Where are you traveling to? Why can't we travel within where our means can take us to?
Okay, just leave home.
Leave home. And then we sit somewhere else that is off the stress or the distractions of the home. And also, we shouldn't wait for funerals for family to start traveling far and wide to sit together. Let's think about family times that people used to meet, like a family ending of the year,
Christmas period,
or they just have their own family routines. So these are a few of the many things that can help the mind.
I just looked at the time and I think time is really against us. So, but I mean, just give us your parting word. I would like to engage you some more, Nosekere, but then just give us your parting word as time is really ticking.
For me, I believe that we have come a long way. As much as we put in so much time to take care of our bodies, to look attractive, we also have to remember that investment in the mind, as the mental health, is as important as healthy food, as well as good appearance, expensive clothes, and good body shape. So the mind also should be carried along in the process.
I really must thank you for coming on the show and for your wealth of insight to this discourse. I must say that I've learned so much. Trust me. And I hope you out there have also learned a lot on today's edition of Softline. Remember, you can only have this on Softline. And so if you have missed this edition, do well to tell your neighbor, your friend, reach out to someone, tell them Softline comes your way every day of the week, and do not miss it for anything. And that's how far we have gone in the show today. I would like to tell you as we wrap up that you have to remember that a healthy body and a healthy mind can go hand in hand. Do well to make healthy lifestyle choices and seek professional health advice whenever necessary. So we come